I want to do a bit of like what they call a lightning round. I'll ask the questions, and you can give a short answer to each question. How does that sound?
We'll try.
We'll try. Good. The first question is, what is the most important thing for you in your research?
That I enjoy it.
What do you think is your most important article?
Maybe most important article is a small article named המחשבה הרעה של האל. The evil thought of God.
The evil thought of God.
Yes. Which I was sure was never going to be published. And it was published immediately. And then it became a book, Primeval Evil.
Why is that your most important work?
Because it gave another line, historically speaking. Sholem claims that Gnosticism, my claim is that there are some elements which are Zoroastric. And that Sholem thought in Tishbi that Luria invented all this vision of catharsis.
Right.
And I believe it was found much earlier.
Following up on that theme, what's your most important book in your estimation?
I believe the most important book is the book on Messianism, which in my opinion didn't receive enough attention.
I loved it.
But if you look, people still are writing books named the Messianic Idea, as if there was a Messianic idea.
Right.
I think about scholars, I don't speak about. It's very bizarre for me. Not that they are allowed to do whatever they want, but at least to
acknowledge.
to not to acknowledge, at least to explain why there is a Messianic idea.
Right. So you're saying that was the most important point that you were trying to make there?
Yes.
What do you think of the general state of mysticism in the world today, in the public?
Meaning, what happened, ideology declined. The economic situation is much better. People attempt to escape dangers. So that's escapism. People can afford to do it. Earlier they didn't. Earlier they had other alternatives. And you can see how people are shifting from an ideology to mysticism.
Why do you think that Kabbalah as a field of research is so successful today?
Because mysticism is successful, so also the scholarship is it's exactly the same. Unfortunately, from time to time, they overlap.
What do you enjoy outside of Kabbalah?
In different parts of life. I mean, it's not exactly one wants music, chess. Now, family.
What's your perspective in general on the contemporary state of the scholarship of mysticism and Kabbalah?
There is too much.
Too much scholarship?
Too much scholarship, which is a problem because people cannot read.
It's too much to read?
Or read superficially. And then creates a lot of disputes and a lot of waste of time. I prefer to have less but better.
What's the remedy? How do you get to that?
There's no remedy.
Is that a structural problem?
There's no remedy. The problem is very deep because also the university is encouraging it. It's not only a personal story.
Right. Encouraging everyone to write.
Yes, to write, to publish.
Right. Who are some promising scholars that you see on the horizon?
I look to answer, there are many and everyone believes that she is the best.
What has changed if you're looking at the field of the scholarship of Jewish mysticism from when you started until today? Both for the good and the negative.
Very simple. I mean, once it was one idea dominating. And it was Sholem. People can dispute with Sholem, but it was Sholem.
Right.
Now there's nothing like that. Everything is much more open, much more diffuse.
But you're a fan of diffusion and plurality, and
I have no problem with it. I say it's fine.
but you're saying that the extent of it is maybe too much.
I was very specific about what is too much. That people, too much is created and written hastily,
Right.
and people are reading superficially, and then there are disputes.
Too much quantity, not enough quality.
Yes, that's
Okay, I got you.
the issue.
How close is Jewish mysticism to other mystical traditions?
Look, the first time of mysticism that I encountered studying was Hinduism. And I admire very much the matter of power. Yoga is not only mystica. Yoga is a matter of power. And also the vision, Hindu vision of the sacrifice. That's theological. And that had an influence on me, I assume. Christian mysticism, which I encountered much later, despite the fact I have seen Christian mystics as a child, I didn't know what I see. I was born not far away from the most important monastery, mystical monastery in Romania, maybe in Eastern Europe. And I've seen the monks, but I had no idea what I see. I didn't know what happened there. Only very late, I discovered in an encyclopedia that the monastery I've seen there, it was the center of a mystical movement. But I was not influenced by it. I assume that the Hinduism was much, the earliest and maybe the most important influence.
On your own thinking.
Yes.
And Sufism?
Sufism is for sure very interesting, and my claim is that an influence of Sufism. I claim it from time to time. I believe that historically true. But it's not far away from Christian mysticism.
Right. Have you has Buddhist mysticism been a point of interest for you?
Yeah?
Buddhism.
I read Buddhism in Israel, for sure. Yes, it's very attractive from many points of view. Skeptical, critical, but that's not my approach toward mysticism. That's maybe my more personal approach.
Interesting. Do you see any metaphysical commonality between between the Buddhists and the Hasidic thinkers?
Not so much. I know that Buber was very fond of it. Like many great ideas of Buber, it doesn't work in my opinion. There are moments of interesting remark by Buber. And he's claiming that who is at the door? It's I. He made interesting remarks. But that's, in my opinion, marginal.
Is what?
Marginal.
Marginal. I hear.
Means they are interesting. That's very interesting cone.
Right.
But, okay.
Yeah.
What is the structure? I believe that the Besh knew also the Hindu, what's called the parable of the wall.
Yeah.
With the illusion.
Yeah.
That's Maya, in my opinion.
Right.
So, not that those are moments.
What about the Buddhist belief? The Buddhist belief that nirvana is the realization that there is no difference between samsara and nirvana, right?
I don't like this modern, how to put it, you call
Buddhist
it?
modernism?
Yes, it's non-duality.
Right.
That's, again, a claim that I see in some younger scholars speaking about.
Well, you don't think someone like Nagarjuna was a non-dualist?
non-dual. Unfortunately, I see too many dualities.
In their
It
own
is
thinking.
that's a trend.
Right.
A trend,
Do you think that there is non-duality in Judaism? Do you see non-dualism?
I don't understand exactly what non-duality, so I cannot. I know the people are writing a lot
Right.
about it, but I must admit that I don't understand.
What do you find beautiful in Kabbalah?
No, I'm not very aesthetically influenced, biased. From time to time, the language is not exactly the best Hebrew, not speak about Hasidism, but also others. And the structure is not structure, and everything is parshanut, running from one place to another. And I don't look those elements, meaning that you don't have, majestic edifices, which can be short, but well organized and logical, and you don't find it. You almost don't find Kabbalistic poems. Meaning what you have is maybe 5 poems. Look to what happened in Islam.
Right.
All together. Al-Khadadi with Luria and with Edid Nefesh, and how many do you have?
Right. But what about something, if it's not linguistic beauty, but conceptual beauty?
How?
What about something that's conceptually beautiful?
I don't know what is beautiful. I mean, the concepts are changing. It depends where, and I mean, the concept doesn't remain static.
Is that part of its secret?
Maybe. It's not a secret. It's a fact. I mean,
Is it part of the secret of its survival, I'm saying?
yes, maybe. Yes, it may be. Fixed things are easily broken. Okay, I must go home.
Okay. Thank you for your time today.
Yes.
I very much appreciated it.
Okay, thank you.